What's up, Wax fans? It's Patricia. Today I have my empties for non-Scentsy products for the last 2 months and a tiny bit. I've been really bad about doing this on time, so I apologize. These are my retail candle vendor empties. So I finished one candle. This was a candle that Erica gave me for Mother's Day, so I wanted to work on it right away. It is Vanilla Clouds by Bath & Body Works. The notes are Airy Freesia, Vanilla Cream, and Blonde Woods. And it's kind of almost like a musky sandalwood vanilla, and it burned very aggressively at the beginning, and then it kind of died and had some issues, so I had to pour off a bunch of the wax because it also became very kerosene smelling. And even smelling it now, you can kind of smell the burnt smell of the wicks. I did really enjoy it early on, but as the candle went on, I did not enjoy it as much. Unfortunately, that's sometimes the way things go, but I'm very happy that she picked that out. She knows I love vanilla. She did a great job. All right, so for retail wax, I have 2 unicorn cakes. These were both gifted to me from Shannon, and Shannon is one of my waxy friends here, which I really value her friendship. Yeah, it's a sweet, almost like a fruity, youthful scent. A little tiny bit of a sweetness from almost like a cake, kind of like the picture shows. I have Good Vibes by Fusion. I don't know the notes on this, but I didn't care for this scent. It's fruity, but in the warmer, something about it, it just wasn't for me. Performance was fine. I could smell it, of course, no problem. And there's probably strawberry in there because sometimes I struggle with strawberry. And this is Red and White Roll, which is kind of like a strawberry cream cake. And the strawberry here comes across a little bit waxy, and smelling it here on cold now, the cake note smells kind of stale and funky. But it smelled better warming, but that was from Brandy, so thank you so much. I do have trouble with strawberry, so sometimes I feel like it depends on the day, and just, you know, who knows. All right, so let's talk about the vendors that I worked on. I'll just grab this one first because it's a scoopable, and it's from Scoopable Tart Wax, which she has renamed to Macaron, I think. And I'm not really sure why she keeps renaming her business, but she does. So this is Satsuma, Coastal, Kale, and Raindrops. And this is a very fresh scent. The thing about scoopables is, for me, I typically warm most of my vendor wax in non-Scentsy hot plate warmers, but scoopables, I don't mind putting them in Scentsy warmers because they throw very well. Scentsy warmers don't get quite as hot, so you do have to remove them usually with a cotton ball or a cotton cleanup method or a hot dump method. But I don't think I need that again for a while, but I did enjoy it. It was a like, not a love. All right, so I have 2 items from Hayden Rowe. The first one is Boardwalk Bliss. These are from October of 2022. Boardwalk Bliss is almost like a candy scent. The notes are saltwater taffy, fizzy pop, and cotton candy. And that was about a medium throw. It was okay, but this one I loved and I would repurchase in a heartbeat. It is the dupe for Yankee Candle's Sun Drenched Apricot Rose. And I don't even really like rose, but Sun Drenched Apricot Rose is so beautiful. It's sweet. There's the best floral. I don't know. It's just terrific. So this is called Never Till Now. And this was a loaf that I worked on over time. I have a giant heart because I loved it. Apricot Rose, Nectarine, Light Florals, and Musk. So good. I would definitely purchase more. I think at one point, I had some from Kay's, and I'm not sure if that threw very well. I can't remember, but the Never Till Now one threw like a champ. Speaking of Kay's, this one threw very, very well. It's from 2021. This was originally from Catherine, and it's Apple Mango Tango, and I don't love a lot of laundry-based scents, but this one I really, really love. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because it's not very laundry. Yeah, there's a sweetness from that apple, and I love mango, so I would repurchase that in another clamshell for sure. All right, the next items are from LIII, and because these were warmed over the past couple months, I'm going to do my best to remember them. The first 2 are samples. This one is raspberry, fresh picked strawberry, and pretzel. I got a little bit of all those things. It would not be a repurchase just because I'm not a lover of pretzel. The next one is a Love Shack. This one is Blonde Moment and Watermelon. Blonde Moment, I think, it's like a fizzy, does it have almost like a raspberry fizzy? Lemon Raspberry Fizzy. I forget what Blonde Moment is exactly, but usually I know what it is. I just can't think of it right now, but that was just okay, and performance was about a medium. The next one is Dreamweaver. This one I did not purchase on my own. It was part of a mystery box from November of 2022. I will say these all threw very well. I didn't have any issues with performance. So this is called Dreamweaver. And it has lavender cream, sugar cookie dough, and bread. Or I don't know if it's sugar cookie dough bread. But this was, her lavender comes across to me maybe a tiny bit soapy. I'm not sure. I know people love this one. I can't really smell it very well right now. This performed well, very well. I don't need to repurchase anymore just because I'm not big into lavender, but it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't really my kind of thing. Now this is my kind of thing. It is White Elephant Exchange. So this is a vanilla-based scent, and the notes on this are powdered donuts, vanilla wafers, a white cake, and vanilla frosting. I find you really get the vanilla wafers in here, and throw on this is probably about between light and medium. And she mixes with this a lot, so I do like it on its own. I feel like for me it's almost better on its own because then I can enjoy it in its pure form. All right, so the next two are from the Melted Mousse, and I've never really had stellar performance with the Melted Mousse. I'm not sure what it is. The other thing I don't love is the texture of the wax. It's very greasy, so when I cut it, I'm trying not to touch it. So you can kind of see in the bag here, this first one is Raspberry Zinger, and this was a pink wax. And I think it's just kind of a slightly floral leaning bright raspberry. Yeah, this was about a medium light for performance, maybe even a light. The next one was Blow My Top, and these were both from November of 2022, so it might be that I left them too long, I don't know. But this is Honey Clementine, which I believe is a Yankee Candle dupe, which I've enjoyed in the past. Cotton Candy and Blue Volcano, so almost like a variation if you know Scentsy's Blue Grotto, something along that line. And this was also between light and medium, not very strong at all. So I think I have two more items, and both of those are like vanilla based items, so I'm not sure how well they're going to perform, but I'll give them a try. I'm going to get those finished very soon. All right, so the next one is a standout for me. It is from May of 2021. Catherine gave me, well, I purchased a D-stash from her, but this was a double bag, mini melter bag. So she put the equivalent of 2 mini melter bags and shoved it all in this one, and it has pie crust. And oh my gosh, this was so good. So I've been on the hunt for pie crust since. I've actually gotten some from LIII Waxy Wonders. I have a whole loaf. I have some from Lavender and Speckles that I'm going to be able to use. So, but this worked really well. So I'm looking forward to trying the other companies and seeing how they do, but that performed well. And a lot of people say they can't smell Rosegirls after a certain amount of time. I had no problem smelling the pie crust at all. So that was from 4 years ago. So that was terrific. All right. From Sassy Girl, I have 2 items. Both I could smell very well. This was Cupcakes at Tiffany's, also from 2021, November. And this was originally from Catherine. This is toffee, tawny chocolate, fruity buttercream, and creamy fluffy vanilla cake. I always say that the Cupcake at Tiffany's reminds me of this cookie that they used to have at Costco, and it had like score bits in it, or Heath bits, I think. If you're in the US, it was like almost like a shortening based cookie, but that's kind of what this reminds me of, because there's a little bit of chocolate chips in that. So I don't think they still sell that, but if they did, I would consider buying it. From Sassy Girl, just going right now, I have raspberry donuts in the kitchen. I always melt ahead on the wax melting challenge days, and I wanted to warm this for a ruby colored wax because it's like this bright red colored wax. It says raspberry donuts, cookies, birthday cake, Twinkies, and vanilla fudge butter. And this is really nice. The raspberry is not a saturated heavy raspberry in this scent. It's almost like a vanilla. It has a slight body care lean, but because of all the bakery notes, you don't really get too much of that. But it's really nice. I would definitely purchase this again if I was really low on Sassy Girl, but it's not something that I have to jump on and purchase, because I do have, I think I have another raspberry one somewhat similar to this, so I'll work on that next and enjoy some more raspberry from her. All right, so from VCS, which has closed, this is from October of 2022. I'm trying to work, I used to be on top of it, now I'm way off base with my dates, but this was light, and I have a note that it was powdery. So it's called Christmas Tree Cakes Raspberry Ice Cream. So it says raspberry vanilla ice cream, yellow cake, vanilla buttercream, and a touch of green sprinkles. And I just remember this smelled like powder, and I did not like it at all. So even if she was open, I would not purchase this again. Too powdery for me. Performance was about a medium light. And the last thing I have in my little basket is a Canadian vendor, and I will say my husband complimented this scent twice. It is Melting Memories, Salty Pretzel, and Churros. So I just told you I'm not really big into pretzel, but this one was really, really good. I would think about getting this. I'm just trying to get some of my wax down, and I say that, and then I go buy more. But anyway, salted pretzel, churros, caramel maple swirl, sugar cookie. Now I don't really like maple, but you couldn't really smell very much maple. And my husband said, he goes, I don't know what I'm smelling, but I just know it's delicious. And then maybe a few days later, I melted it again. He goes, oh, this scent is so good. I don't know, it's so good. And I said, it's the same one from the other day. And he goes, oh, that's why I love it. Anyway, so when the husband says he loves something, you pay attention. So salted, pretzel, and churros. Husband approved. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Thanks for putting up with my tardiness. I'll try to be more on top of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video.